Hi everyone, welcome into Edie's Attic. My name is Jenny and I'm here with your weekly energy update. I just got done watching a really good movie last night. It was the first time for me watching this movie called Spirited with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It is a unique take on the Scrooge series or the Scrooge story, where the main character is like Scrooge healed, the healed version of Scrooge. And his life mission is to go out and to help others that were very much in the same energy that he was when he healed and he became enlightened, to help enlighten them and to help them become the best versions of themselves. He makes it his mission, it's his purpose. Um, and I feel like there's a connection there to when I was watching it. I kept thinking, this reminds me of this collective. This Scrooge person, this Scrooge individual that is healed and enlightened, going out, trying to find other people that remind him of himself to help them see the bigger picture and to be healed. Like that was his goal. I feel like that's us. I feel like if you are in this collective, you can resonate with that. I feel like you may have been in a place years ago, maybe even as of recent, maybe even months ago, but you were in a low place. You were in a low frequency. Maybe you were going through some of the worst scenarios that life could throw at you. And you may have been in a very dark place for some time. And then something happened. You awoke. You had a revelation and you decided to make changes and to become better, to become the best possible version of yourself. And you've been doing that ever since. Same with this particular character from this movie, where they made it's their life work to pursue others just like themselves or where they had been, to help them grow and to help them heal and to help them elevate. And I feel like you do that too. I feel like you make it like your mission. It's almost like your purpose to help others see themselves for who they truly are, to help others' hearts heal, to help others step outside of like a negative mindset and to grow beyond what they believe they could be. You are definitely a way shower. You are a healer. You're a light worker. But the downloaded messages that I got prior to watching this movie, I feel can relate. And I feel like this movie is a really good example on how to explain it. The first thing that I got from Spirit was don't get stuck in negative mental loops. So Spirit's saying that you have a tendency to keep yourself in a mindset sometimes with certain people that you've dealt with in the past where there was a negative energy between the two, or between you and a group, between you and a family member, between you and a coworker, between you and a situation. Even certain situations may be triggers to you as far as triggering a mental loop of negativity, that you're beyond that now, that you need to step outside of the negative thinking, because you can create these negative occurrences to happen just by overthinking it, and you're manifesting it into your reality. There are things that are just simply not happening anymore, that have ended, that have been completely like cut from your life and from your energy, that you are bringing back in just by thinking about it. So they're showing me a lot of different scenarios in order to explain this. I guess a really easy way to explain it is, I guess even with referring to this movie, Spirited, it felt like the main character, if he didn't succeed at trying to help someone and heal someone and get them to elevate and to see the error of their ways, it almost felt like it was a stronghold on him and who he was before. Like he couldn't let that go. It was something about like remembering back to a time like when you were a certain way, and these certain people or situations that happen in your life causing you to regress back into like a place in your mind where you start thinking about that time and that who you were and how you behaved, and you automatically think the worst is going to happen. Like, even if it comes to like another individual in yourself, you could have been separated and disconnected from another person for years, um, and you may have, really done the work to heal yourself from the trauma that that connection caused you. But for some reason, if you were to see this person in public or hear about them from a friend, you would begin, this is not for everyone, but for some of you, you may begin to start um, thinking of the past, thinking of events that happened, and then becoming super overly paranoid about why this person is in your energy. What are their intentions? And then you start manifesting thoughts of, are they spreading rumors? Are they starting problems? Are they creating chaos? Are they creating chaos in my life? Why are they here? What are they going to do? And then you start overthinking it. One thing that happens when we start to go into that place and we start to get paranoid and start to overthink people's intentions, we're creating like a narrative already in our mind of what this person is about and what kind of energy they're carrying without actually intuitively picking up on it. So we are putting ourselves, for starters, in a low frequency. Thinking that way will drop our frequency. What happens when we drop our frequency? We get sick, we get tired, we can create like little holes in our energy field where negativity and other things can slip in and create chaos in our world. And all along, we think it's these individuals outside of us that are doing this to us or creating it for us. But in actuality, we are kind of like the catalyst. We're starting it for ourselves just by thinking it. We're still not realizing how powerful our mind space is and how powerful we are when it comes to creating the reality around us, and how our thoughts can create things to happen in our existence just by putting it out there into the energy field. The next downloaded message I got was, our fear of losing control creates the chaos. It feels like, again, this is a reference to Spirited, a downloaded message before I actually watched the movie. But it's like needing to have to control every aspect of our life and making it almost too perfect, seamless, for it to feel safe, to feel like we are able to live in this environment, live in this energy field. And that when things happen outside of our control, we immediately start thinking, this isn't right. This isn't okay. Something else is going to happen. Something negative is going to happen because I didn't control this. Spirit's asking for you to let go and to release the control of the situation and to allow things to happen naturally. You are gifted certain abilities, such as your intuition. You are able to feel out if there's a situation happening around you that is unsafe or a red flag. And that is what you need to lean in on. Your thoughts have been running your life for some time now, is what Spirit is saying to me, for whoever this message is for. Your thoughts are running your life. You're not listening to your intuition right now. You're not leaning in on your inner guidance, but you are leaning in on the thoughts that you're creating about what you think is actually happening around you, but it's not actually happening. It's like you're creating storylines in your mind space, and then you're convincing yourself that those storylines must be true because of things that you think that you're seeing outside of yourself, rather than actually seeing the evidence and then moving forward from there. You're creating a storyline first and then waiting to see if you're finding the evidence that complements the storyline. Now, going back to the movie, the main character had control issues. Being in control of someone else's destiny, being in control of helping and healing and leading and guiding and staying on this path of righteousness and, elevation and, like this version of them that they are so pleased with. they were afraid that if they did anything different outside of what they were used to since they've been healed, that would mean that they were like walking away from their purpose, or um, you know, not helping other people would be like devastating to them, because that's all they knew after their point of healing. So what brings me back to this collective is, there's a lot of us here that have moved a certain way since we have healed, since we have started this spiritual journey of self-love, of growth, of awakening. And I feel like some of you may be fearing that if you do something different, if you step outside of what you've been doing, that means that you're stepping away from your purpose. Going back to the movie, it was like a plot twist. So, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Um, Throughout the movie, while this person was trying to help someone else see the error of their ways and to help them elevate out of like a negative vibe and to like take a turn for the better in their life, they were learning a lot about themselves. They were learning that there is someone, something out there that sparked a light within them, that made them feel a certain way that they have never felt before. It was something that was calling to them, but they were torn between taking this new path towards something that they felt really pulled to, or staying where they're at because they felt like it served a higher purpose and this is what they were meant to do. At the end of it all, they chose the new path. It was scary. They were very, very, very scared and reluctant at first to do this. But once they did, it opened up a whole new life for them. They were able to experience things that they never experienced before. And that like brings me back to you. I feel like you're in this place right now where it's almost, I feel like you've created a very safe routine that has worked for you since day one of your healing. I feel like you have stuck to it. You know what you need to do every day. You know mentally what your goals are, what your destiny is, what your purpose is. You feel it within yourself, but it has become really mundane. You are starting to feel like maybe you're lacking that spark, or you're fearing that because you're learning new things about yourself, or that you're making changes, or that you're being pulled in another direction off this path that's not, you know, the same things that you've been doing, that you will be abandoning ship. Like you'll be like completely walking away from your purpose. Spirit just wants me to put that out there, that if you feel like you're being pulled in a new direction, or you feel like you're finding a spark somewhere else, in a different line of work, or in a different group of people, or in a different place on the planet to live, whatever it is that you're going through right now, where you're feeling torn between this new path and sticking to the old path, they're giving you like this okay, this like validation that starting something new that's going to spark a light within your heart and create new experiences for yourself is absolutely a good choice. Because what it does also is it's going to illuminate, it's going to elevate, you're going to timeline jump, and you're going to elevate your frequency into a place where you're going to be vibing much higher. It's like this chapter is closing, and it's trying to face that. It's trying to face it head on, and not like wrap yourself into this like package of like, well, if I close this door and I close this path, then that's the end of the road for me. That's the end of my purpose. I feel, like I feel like you're just really worried that you're going to be making a bad choice here, whatever this is. And I just want to let you know that Spirit is 100% behind you switching course if it's lighting you up inside. You should know for yourself. They're saying like, if you feel that burning, you feel that spark, you feel that happiness, that joy from thinking about this other path, then you need to follow your heart. You need to follow your intuition and not overthink it and not get stuck in a negative mental loop. Even by thinking that if I go down this path, then this could happen, and all this work that I did over here, that's negative thinking. Build upon, not separate. That's what I'm getting. Something about whatever this was This new path can build upon whatever you did over here. It's not the end of an era, but it's more like a stepping stone that, or like a good foundation that you build in order to branch off into something new, into something different, into something more soul lightening, something that lifts you up. So all that work wasn't for nothing. It was for something. It's just the change that's scaring you. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the not knowing where this is going to take you because you've gotten so used to routine. It's kept you in a really safe environment. It's kept you on a really good path. And I feel like you fear that by switching course, that you may be making a mistake, or you may be opening yourself up to things that you are not prepared for because you've done so much work and you've gotten yourself to a place to where you know what to expect and you know how to respond and you know what to do next, and every day seems to be the same. There's no change though, and you're kind of plateauing. This here, whatever this is for you, this new path, this new course, it's going to fulfill you. It's going to uplift you. It's going to build upon what you already created, but in a brand new way. So I really hope this message reached the right people. I know it's definitely a lot to digest. And it's a lot to think about in regards to yourself. Like, does this resonate? Is this your story? Are you in a mental space, or a negative mental space as far as the way that you're thinking in regards to your choices? Are you limiting yourself on possibilities because you would rather choose safety and routine over something that is unsure and a little scary? Because sometimes when we open that door to something that is unsure and scary, it could change our lives for the better, not the worst. It's all about perspective. So I hope that helped. I hope it resonated. I hope it hit the right people. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a beautiful day. Bye.